Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pickdawgz, and this is Ron's Rundown. We're going to go over the MLB game scheduled for Tuesday, August 5th, 2025. If you like this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Put your baseball picks in the comment section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, the games I love the most, including my daily rundown best bet in Major League Baseball, you can find those at the Premium Picks tab at pickdawgz.com. There's also a link in the description. Alrighty, here we go. Here are the games for Tuesday in Major League Baseball. First up, we've got the Houston Astros and the Miami Marlins. We've got Cal Quantrill for Miami, but no official starter right now for Houston. Don't let that 4-8 record fool you. Cal Quantrill's been one of the most profitable pitchers in Major League Baseball in terms of moneyline ROI, as the Marlins have won a majority of his starts, especially recently, where in June the Marlins were 3-2 in Quantrill games and 4-1 in the month of July. And you got to remember, a lot of those games, the Marlins are getting really good plus money prices, especially those games on the road in St. Louis and Milwaukee. And we've seen them also, because Quantrill's not necessarily an ace-level starter, we can usually get a really good price with the fish when he starts. And he's been pretty solid in the last couple of months. Had a mid-4s ERA in June, had a sub-3 ERA in July. I think he pitches okay in this game, and I'm going to back the Marlins in this one as well on the money line. Next up, we've got the Twins and the Tigers. We've got Chris Paddack facing his former team in this one. Zebby Matthews on the other side for Minnesota. Paddack pitched really well in his Tigers debut against the Diamondbacks. It was a 7-2 Tigers win. He went 6 innings, 1 earned run, 5 strikeouts, no walks, no home runs. And he also pitched well before he was traded from the Twins against the Dodgers on July 23rd. 6 innings, 1 run, 8 strikeouts. So back-to-back quality starts. It's been a tough season overall for Paddack, but he is trending in the right direction, facing a pretty weak Twins lineup. Matthews on the other side, I think he's got a lot of potential, but right now it's just not working at the Major League level. I'm going to roll the Detroit Tigers in this one on the money line and run line. Next up, the San Francisco Giants taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates. We've got Logan Webb and Mike Burrows as the starters. The Giants have lost 3 straight Logan Webb outings, including his last game against these Pirates. Now, Webb was really strong in that game. 5 2/3, 1 run, 11 strikeouts, but it wasn't enough for a Giants team that we know has struggled to score consistently this year. Had a great series at Citi Field offensively against the Mets, but Mike Burrows is pitching really well for Pittsburgh. His last 3 games, 2 of those were quality starts. The other one was 5 innings, 2 runs, 6 strikeouts. He pitched against these Giants in that Logan Webb game. He went toe-to-toe with Logan Webb. 6 innings, 1 run, 7 strikeouts. Pirates found a win in extra innings. I think we're getting a really good price with a starting pitcher that's in great form, pitching well at PNC Park. The Pirates are playing well at PNC Park overall this season. So give me the Buccos in this one on the money line. Next up, we've got the Orioles and the Phillies. We've got Dean Kramer and Taijuan Walker as the starters. Now, Dean Kramer's not been great on the road this season. He's got an ERA above 5 away from Camden Yards, but I still think he's the better option in this game compared to Taijuan Walker. I'd lean towards the over, but I think the Orioles plus the 1.5 runs is the play. I mean, Walker's last game, 5 innings, no strikeouts, couple of home runs given up. He's given up 7 home runs in his last 3 games combined. I think the Orioles still have a competitive enough lineup against right-handed pitching to be able to get to Walker, score enough runs to at least cover the run line, if not win this game outright. So lean towards the over and the Orioles plus the 1.5 runs. Next up, we've got the Athletics and the Nationals. We've got Luis Severino and Mackenzie Gore as the projected starters. There's no doubting that Severino is the starting pitcher that's in better form compared to Mackenzie Gore. He's given up 2 runs or fewer in 4 straight outings. The A's have won his last 3 games. Even his last game at home, where we know he has struggled this season, 5 innings, 1 run, 6 strikeouts for Sevy. I think he pitches pretty well in this game. I also think it's the run support. Mackenzie Gore's given up 6+ runs in 2 of his last 3 starts. One of those on the road, the other one at home. The Nationals have lost his last 3 games. I think this Athletics lineup's a little bit more competitive right now, especially against a lefty. I'm going to roll with the A's in this one on the money line at a decent price. Next up, we've got the Guardians and the Mets. We've got Logan Allen and Clay Holmes as the starters. And Clay Holmes does look to be a little bit fatigued out there, and that's a big shocker as a pitcher that's only had 4 starts since 2018 and has been solely used as a reliever/closer, is now fatigued after 117 innings as a starting pitcher, pitching every 5 days, 5, 6+ innings. Yeah, that's a big surprise to see Holmes struggling to get through the month of July. But nonetheless, I mean, this is what we talked about at the beginning of the season. That Holmes was pitching really well in spring training. We expected him to be a good starting pitching option at the beginning of the year, but you definitely have to worry about the stamina as a closer, reliever, being a starting pitcher in his first year as a starter. when you get to the second half of the season, when you get to the month of August. And, we saw Holmes, we look back to his game logs, at one point, like back in the month of May, 5 starts in May. 4 of those 5 starts, he went 6+ innings. The other one, he went 5 2/3. So he was pitching deep into ball games, 90+ pitches. One of those starts, 100 pitches in the month of May. Even in June, the beginning of the month of June, 6 innings, 7 innings. Then it went down to 5 innings, 4 2/3. His last month, in the month of July, not a single start in his 6 outings went 6+ innings. So you worry about the control. He's walking some guys recently. The strikeout numbers are a little bit down recently. He has just not been as competitive on the mound, and I worry about that right now for Holmes and going forward. The Mets have lost 3 of his last 4 games. Allen on the other side's pitched pretty well as of late, and I think he is the better option right now. I'm going to roll the Guardians in this one at a really good price on the money line. Next up, we've got the Kansas City Royals taking on the Boston Red Sox. We've got Ryan Bergert and Garrett Crochet as the starters. Really, this season for Bergert has been a tale of 2 seasons, as in AAA really wasn't that effective. 4.03 ERA with a 5.44 FIP and a 341 BABIP. So he was pretty unlucky in terms of that BABIP being unsustainably high, but still not great numbers overall. I know he was, at the AAA level in the Pacific League. It's, obviously a more hitter-friendly league, but that 5.4 FIP and a 5.05 xFIP kind of evens the playing field and tells you he really wasn't that effective with a lot of walks and home runs given up. Then you look at the major league numbers, a 2.78 ERA and 35 2/3. Sometimes pitchers, they just figure it out when they're at the major league level when they get that call up, but I'm not so sure it's going to be this way the rest of the season. I know he's in a new organization making his Royals debut, but Bergert's got a 4.46 expected ERA, 4.77 xFIP right now, and over almost 2 runs steeper than his current ERA. I expect big time regression going forward the rest of the season. That's why I wasn't in love with the pickup for KC. I also think Crochet, obviously the much better option in this game. So I think this is more than a lopsided pitching matchup in favor of Boston. I think the Red Sox win this game by margin. I'm going to take the Red Sox and lay the run line. Next up, the Brewers and the Braves. We've got Joey Wentz and Freddie Peralta as the starters. Peralta did not pitch too well in his last game against the Cubs. He was pitching really well going into that game. Just couldn't figure it out in that start against the division rival. 10-3 loss for the Brewers. But I expect Peralta to bounce back. Like I said, he was pitching really well before that game. He's had a great season overall. 12-5 with a 3.08 ERA. Good strikeout numbers on the season as well. And you're up against Joey Wentz, who I just don't think is a viable option in Major League rotation right now. So give me the Brewers on the money line and run line on the road. Next up, we've got the Cincinnati Reds and the Chicago Cubs. We've got Zach Littell making his Reds debut. Shota Imanaga going on the other side for Chicago. This is a pretty low total for this game, as it does look to be the wind is blowing in at Wrigley Field. And I think we see a low-scoring game. I think we see both starting pitchers have a good outing. Littell has, obviously had issues with the home run ball this year, but in the month of July, 28 2/3, only 3 home runs given up. He definitely improved those numbers, and like I said, the wind's blowing in at Wrigley. I think it's going to benefit a pitcher like Littell. Imanaga did not pitch too well in his last game, but the Reds have not been great against lefties as of late. I think he has a bounce-back outing, and I think we go under the total in Reds-Cubs. Next up, we've got the New York Yankees taking on the Texas Rangers. We've got Will Warren for the Yankees, Nathan Eovaldi facing his former team in this one for the Rangers. He's been one of the better pitchers in the American League this season. The Rangers have won his last 5 starts. All 5 of those wins were on the run line. A lot of blowout wins along the way. 6-0, 13-1, 5-1, 8-3, 6-3. So not just run line covers, but 2+ run victories for the Rangers. And he's only given up 2 earned runs, 3 total runs in those last 5 games combined. You look at his numbers against the current Yankees lineup. He's faced them quite a bit, even though he's a former Yankee. He's been, in the league for a while, and he was a member of the Red Sox. So Eovaldi's very familiar with this lineup, and he's got good numbers against the current Yankees lineup, especially for a pitcher that, obviously the Yankees have had a good offense the last decade or so. Aaron Judge has been one of the best hitters in baseball, but Eovaldi, with 100+ plate appearances, not many pitchers that can say the same with this amount of sample size, with a 286 xWOBA and a 30% strikeout rate, a low walk rate to go with it. So he's really owned the Yankees, the current roster at least, in the past. And, Will Warren faced the Rangers earlier this season, had a really good outing, but that was a Yankee Stadium. On the road, he's just not been the same pitcher, and I think the Rangers can get to him enough to win this game, potentially cover the run line, but give me the Rangers on the money line at least. Next up, we've got the Toronto Blue Jays taking on the Colorado Rockies. We've got Jose Barrios and Kyle Freeland as the starters. Believe it or not, Barrios has pitched since 2016 to major league level, but he has yet to pitch at Coors Field. This is going to be his Coors Field debut. He's been a member of the American League throughout his career with the Twins and the Blue Jays, so no real surprise there. But Barrios, we've talked about how I expected some regression in the second half of the season just due to the fact that he's given up a lot of sharp contact, and we've seen him now give up at least one home run in 4 straight games, 2+ home runs in 2 of those 4 games, including the last one against the Orioles. And I could see at Coors Field especially this being a really tough matchup for him. Now, the Blue Jays have won a lot of Barrios' starts, especially as of late. They've won 3 straight, and they've won 7 of his last 8 outings. So for me, I'd rather just take the Rockies team total over. I think Freeland could pitch well enough to give the Rockies a chance to win this game, but I think there's still some uncertainty there. He wasn't as sharp as in his last game, only went 3 innings, and then you got that Rockies bullpen. But I think the Rockies will show up offensively in this game, whether they win it or not, or whether they cover the run line. So give me the team total over in Blue Jays Rockies for the Colorado Rockies. Next up, we've got the Rays and the Angels. We got Ryan Pepiot for Tampa, Jose Soriano going for the Angels. Now, Ryan Pepiot's last game was not great, but I do think it was a start that was defined by a couple of mistake pitches early on. The Yankees took advantage of those pitches and were able to take a 7-0 lead early. But I think that Pepiot bounces back. I still think that with his good strikeout stuff and his, obviously he's having a decent season overall with a sub-4 ERA and good expected numbers, that Pepiot is the better option in this game because Soriano at home has just not been a good bet this season for the Angels. They have a big-time losing record with Soriano on the mound at Angel Stadium. Even his last game where he pitched okay, the Angels did not back him up. I believe they're 2-9 on the money line at Angel Stadium with Jose Soriano as a starter. I can't get there with the Angels. Give me the Rays on the money line. Next up, the Chicago White Sox taking on the Seattle Mariners. We've got Davis Martin and Brian Wu as the starters. Now, you look at the last 2 weeks, the Chicago White Sox are number 2 in baseball in team OPS against righties, 6th in baseball in isolated power, a 16% strikeout rate is one of the lowest in the league. They are, and obviously we know they're hitting lefties quite well this season. The White Sox offense is really revamped with a lot of their prospects in the lineup now in the second half of the season. So while I'm not the biggest Davis Martin fan, he has been okay recently. He's been missing some more bats. Maybe he went to the Sean Burke school of Ron's rundown, as Burke also put together, even though he lost that last start the other day, he put together a decent outing at 8 strikeouts. So Martin, Burke, they're big fans of the Ron's rundown program. They know that they got to miss some more bats, and I think Martin can put together a good outing in this game. Brian Wu, the Mariners have lost his last 3 games. He gave up 4 home runs his last start. The Mariners are dead last in Major League Baseball in team OPS against righties in the last 2 weeks. This just looks like a perfect storm for an underdog in this one. Give me Chicago. In our next game, we've got the San Diego Padres and the Arizona Diamondbacks. We've got Yu Darvish and Ryan Nelson as the starters. We've seen this at times from Darvish in the last few years where he's a slow starter, struggles in his first couple of games of the season, but then finds his stride and is still one of the better options in the National League as starting pitcher. His last game against the New York Mets, a tough lineup, 7 innings, 7 strikeouts, no walks, no runs, just a couple of base hits and a 5-0 Padres win. So while Darvish in the past has had some struggles with this Diamondbacks lineup, even struggled against them in his season debut on July 7th, I still think he's the better option in this game. And even if Darvish and Nelson cancel out in the first few innings, the Padres have a gigantic bullpen advantage in this series. So I'm going to roll with San Diego on the money line and maybe even the run line on the road. And the final game we're to talk about for the Tuesday card in Major League Baseball, it's the Cardinals and the Dodgers. Miles Mikolas and Emmett Sheehan are your starters. Mikolas, not the best numbers against his current Dodgers lineup, and that's a concern for me. He's not been great on the road this season. In 91 plate appearances against the current Dodgers lineup, a .547 expected slugging percentage, 373 xWOBA is pretty steep. Sheehan, he's been a little bit inconsistent, but I still think overall he's a decent option. Can go 5 or so innings of okay baseball, quality outing, 5 innings, maybe 2 runs, and the Dodgers offense should do enough to win this game and cover the run line. So give me LA laying the 1.5 runs. And that's it. Those are the games for Tuesday in baseball. Hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at the Premium Picks tab at Pickdawgz.com, and there is a link in the description. As always, this is Romanelli. Good luck.